Hello, hello, and welcome to episode 5 of True or Not, where we bring forward some popular topics and go into demystifying some of these trends that we see in terms of productivity and different topics on well-being, and really just bringing awareness to what in fact is true and what are myths within these topics. So today we're going to talk about stress, the topic that we hear about so much and it's been overly done across board. But in fact, is it something that is it something that is bad for us? Is stress something that is essentially killing us? Or is it in fact our perception of stress that is actually making it good or bad for us? So kick us off, Yvonne, with some information about that.
So short-term stress is critical for survival. It allows us to empower us to either fight or flight, which is a response that allows animals like us to respond quickly to danger signs. When we are acutely stressed, the fear center of the brain, called the amygdala, activates our central stress response system. This stress response system regulates hormones, particularly the stress hormone called cortisol, by rapidly increasing glucose levels, speeding the heart rate, and increasing blood flow to the muscles in our arms and legs. This stress response allows us to respond to a threat. After the danger has passed, the system works to return hormone levels to normal. Over time, repeated activation of the stress response take a toll on the body. Research suggests that chronic stress, in fact, contributes to high blood pressure and causes brain changes that may contribute to anxiety, depression, and even addiction. Also, chronic stress may also contribute to obesity, both through direct mechanism, causing people to eat more, or indirectly decreasing sleep and exercise. So it looks pretty bad from our side. What about any positive type of stress that we may have, Elena?
Sure. So stress can be bad, in fact, yes, but also we need to consider the other side of it. I really like the psychologist. Her name is Kelly McGonigal, and maybe some people have seen her talk. She has a popular talk out on, it's a TEDx, where she talks about how to make stress your friend, essentially. And what she talks about about in her talk particularly is the fact that when we are feeling stressed, right, and our hands are starting to get sweaty and our heart is pumping, and usually we have all of these different thoughts that come to our mind, that kind of freak us out even more. And at that time, what happens is that our blood vessels contract, right? So the blood flow slows down, etc. So if you continuously do this, it's not a healthy state to be in, because this is how you end up with a heart attack at the age of 50, right? This is because of chronic stress and chronic blood vessel contractions. Then she said, in fact, if you look at stress as something positive, so just changing our mindset about stress, kind of tricking our brain to look at it in a positive way. So in fact, if you are giving a presentation and your palms start to get sweaty and your heart is pumping, you need to tell yourself that this is your body actually preparing you for this challenge. This is your body that is going to protect you and to prepare you, essentially. So this actually shows on graphs when they did studies of people of their different reactions to stress, and it showed that when you are sending yourself different mental messages, blood vessels actually are relaxed. So they're not contracted, they're relaxed. So you're still sweating, your heart is still pumping, but the way you perceive these reactions will have a significant impact on that blood vessel, which can actually prevent you from having that heart attack later on or any kind of chronic conditions. Another example is many times, Yvonne, and I think both of us can relate, and we've been in similar situations where we are at work and we're experiencing some kind of stressor at work. And we typically say, maybe we're having we don't get along with our management, for example, or our culture of who we are, our values don't align with our organizational values. And what happens is usually we start blaming the whole job on this, right? So we're saying, oh, I just hate my job. I don't like it. I feel, I just don't like what I'm doing. But in fact, if you look at the root cause, which is it's the misalignment of values, or it's the fact that you don't get along with your management. So it's not the actual job that is horrible, and that's not and what's causing you stress. No, it's just that little piece of your job that you need to address and you need to manage, and then the rest of it would be much more sort of enjoyable, and this will help you prevent burnout, prevent you from having more stress, etc. So it's getting to that root cause, right? So what is the conversation essentially that you're going to be having with yourself when you're experiencing these things, or when you're having different interactions in a workplace?
So it looks for me that identifying the root cause is like a phase of awareness. If we need to tackle a problem, so first we need to identify the source, the root cause, so that we can start working on that. And this is very common in the workplace, that we are always blaming, oh, I'm so stressed because I have too much work. That's
Right.
very
But
true.
in fact, it's not. Exactly. And I think it's just about identifying what is the root cause, and also looking at the fact that stress is normal, it's a good thing, and changing our mindset. Because if we're just walking around and, you know, talking about I'm stressed in such a negative connotation, it's normal. It's a good thing to be stressed sometimes. That means you care about something. That means something good is happening, because if you didn't stress, that means you don't really care about stuff. So it's how you look at it. It's how you perceive it. That is what makes stress good or bad for us.
So stress is not the evil, it's the way how we process the stress that become evil for us, right?
It's our brains. It always comes down to the brain.
Exactly. So I think this is it for today. And I'm looking forward for the next one, Elena.
Me too. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.